Hello guys and welcome back to another League Racing video. If you were wondering where I was for about 2 weeks, basically what happened was, this is Indian racing community, right?
They're
so
not inviting me. You think
they
they invite you?
so what they've done this season is that they've synced up the calendar for my side, so basically Xbox and PC, so that the races will be run on the same weekend. Not at the same time, but throughout Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And what happened was PC had a desync
Bobby
issue.
is a scam
Because of
artist.
that
If he's
we
not
had to
invited you
delay
yet, he's not going to invite you.
the calendar for about 2 weeks. There was a race in the middle which
No.
counted points, however
Honestly,
I
no.
finished
I
10th
expected
because
a
of
thin kid
quite
who gets abused by his
unluckiness,
parents and has
you could
scratch
perhaps
marks
say.
all over his face and not a
If you
fat
missed that,
black
well then check out the link in my description for my Twitch, because if there are some races which will not happen,
No, that's
which
completely
will not be
different.
put on the video, for example like a filler race perhaps, you can go there onto my Twitch and check them out.
That is full bullshit.
And also my Instagram to get updates
You could
for
be
these
scratching
races.
your face, you know,
So
maybe like a
that is where I
mosquito bite.
first announced where if the races would happen or not. And if you're not following me on that, you should go and check me out. The link is also in the description for that.
No, I'm
And
good.
I'll put up the standings now. I realized that I didn't put up the standings last time around because I
What
was
can I do
in
but
quite a bit of a rush. However, I'll put them up now on your screen, and you can see these are the standings before this race. So I'm just a point behind contended Mink.
That's your call,
And
Fizz.
after this race, the standings have not been updated yet, but I will put them up on the next video, which hopefully will come out next week. And also
I
here
didn't
is
go
the
out.
calendar
Well, I didn't kick him.
um,
I told him to leave. Now
for
party
the
is
rest of the
private.
season. This is round 3,
Cause
and
I am on
the
wheels,
next
sir, and
few
if he
races you can
leaves the
see, the next
party
one
or
will be
if somebody
Baku,
else
and then you can
joins,
see the
then
rest of the
I'm gonna get
calendar
wheel vision. If it's
for
wheel
yourself
corner, I'm
on the
screwed.
screen. And yeah, if you guys want to, you know,
There's 13
check
rows, so I don't know what you're saying.
my Twitch out again, as I'm saying, because I do these races.
There's
I
no
also
two
do one more
spectators,
league
though.
on my Twitch, which I do not upload on YouTube on Saturdays at 15
that Steel Sneeze
PM
guy is also
GMT
joining,
or
so he's
3
gonna be
PM
14.
GMT on Saturdays. I will not be uploading any race highlights
When
for that,
will Nutia
so you
start
have to go
streaming,
and check
man?
out my
Oh, finally, they started streaming. So the YouTube stream will also
Twitch
start now.
for that, which is again in
And
the description.
It's always one of these guys. It's either Star Max Lord or AJSM who never ready up. Like they have an allergy to ready up.
Well, they do ready up, but they just ready up very late. Star Max Lord, I have no idea why he does that. However, AJSM, he's a coordinator, so he has to sort things out, make sure there is a smooth running.
This race is so
everything.
crucial. If I can gain a lead on Mink here, I don't think he'll be able to come back with it next race also.
As I say that, because the standings, as you saw, are very tight. A point between us two before
Yes,
the
'cause
thing
AJ's
come
going
out.
to take his
And
own
I
sweet
haven't
time to ready
showed
up
the
and he tells
standings
everybody else to
after
ready up. Like that fully makes sense.
the
Please don't rain for the love of God.
after the
Fuck off. No way.
after this
No
round,
way.
because the
No
stewards' verdicts take
no way.
at least up till Tuesday
No
or
way.
Wednesday to come out, and I want to upload my video till
No.
on Sunday. And
Are
as you can see,
serious?
it is going
Go
to
ahead.
rain in the race. It'll be clear for about
just
15 minutes and
increase
it'll
a bit
start
of
raining at
downforce
around
on the rear
15
and
minutes. And I was predicting a rain, but I didn't expect
Wait,
it to
I'm
come
gonna I'm
towards
gonna
the
see How
end.
long?
And
Sorry for keeping full quality. Bruh.
let's see when
Then
the
go to
rain
Cross
ends. So it
Cross,
gets
so what?
heavier by the time it's 30
Keep it,
minutes,
yeah.
and towards the end it's going to get lighter again. So possibly wet inter kind of condition. And basically we're going on to my lap now, because there was just a lot of discussion of what to do. We'll be staying on board for this lap. So starting our lap, turning on the DRS, going down the first straight, trying to capture the line on the left and brake at the 100-meter board, downshift to second, go off a bit wide here, but that's fine, coming onto the throttle, trying to stick as close to the wall here as you can, which I didn't do. Take a bit of a wrong line coming up Eau Rouge. Again, just a pretty normal line coming down the Camel Street, turning on the DRS. You should make that transition as smooth as possible so that you don't lose a lot of time. Breaking into this corner, which I have no name, no idea about the name. Stick to the right as much as possible. Come to the left, expand onto the left. Brake here, possibly down to second if you're having understeer issues. I brake here down to third. Quickly get back onto the throttle for this next one, which you take in fourth. Try not to extend it much more than that because you will get an invalidation. This corner, Puon, downshift, even though I probably shouldn't have downshifted, but still, yeah, you get the point. Up to 8th here for these corners, down to 4th, sticking as close to the line as possible here. After the apex, go up to 5th, and here for this corner, probably it is very tricky to get right for me at least, but yeah, not nailing it, but still pretty decent. Stick to the right here as much as possible, and then expand to the left here and stick to the line to the left, and wide, and then left again, and then stay wide, and then immediately as soon as the line comes up, go to the left, downshift to second for the last corner, and take this corner perfectly. Go onto the throttle, DRS open, and that is the lap finished. We finished P4. Let's move on because I didn't set another lap time. Let's go into the pits now. As you can see, we're coming into the pits, and this was at the end of quali, so we were secured in
that time
for Q2 here, as you can see, and going into the garage now. Loading into Q2, as you can see, loaded in. Q2 also. Okay, I'm just gonna go and quickly EP and come back. Don't worry about that. But yeah, Q2 also quite crucial. I spent a lot of time in Q2 also discussing what to do with the strategy. I was observing other people, seeing what they're doing, and as the majority of the people were on mediums, I decided to go with the mediums as well. As you can see over here on your screen, so we'll be setting our lap on mediums to start on the mediums because the rain will only start 15 minutes or so in, so about lap 14, lap 13, maybe lap 12. Yeah, so we can stretch out the tires until then, possible, and the softs might not make it there. Let's go on to the end of this lap so that we can see us starting our lap. Alright, so turning on hot lap again, staying on board for this lap, getting on the power, turning on the DRS, coming down the main straight, starting the lap over here, brake at the 100-meter again, down to second, sticking to the apex as much as possible, on late onto the power, which is not ideal, but that's mainly to prevent the car from sliding, as this setup I was using was pretty tricky to use. Going up Eau Rouge, sticking onto the line as much as possible, perfectly taking that line there. Coming down the Camel Street, turn on the DRS right there, and could have done a bit better on the transition there, but still last second kind of things. Brake here at about 50 meters, and don't go up to 5th just yet. Now go up to 5th to keep the thing smooth. I didn't do it as smoothly as I would want it to happen, but it's still fine. Down to 3rd here again, quickly onto the power, up to 4th, and downshift again to 4th, and then try not to extend much more than the grey bit onto the curb, the Red Bull giving us way, and again taking Puon almost perfectly. Coming down to this corner again, downshifting to 4th, about halfway through the curb right there, and we are here again. This corner I could never take perfectly the whole time, so I just let it slide, and I was being told by my teammate that 2 people have retired, so I could make it through. So I was considering to back out and not put additional wear, and as you can see, I turn my hot lap off and then brake very early. However, I thought let's not risk it as much, so I turned on the hot lap and turned on the DRS here again, and we finished 6th. And you can hear me asking, is 6th good enough? I was asking if 6th good enough in case somebody else might set a faster time, and
I slowed down hearing that at the end.
Yeah, so it was fine. P6 was just fine because two people had retired. Now we're on to Q3.
We're ready to go.
We're going out on new softs because we had about three
Only 9 people. Bro, you
fresh
could have
sets of
easily made it through if
softs,
you just
and I
finished
was
the
like,
lap
let's
with
put some pressure on
Only
the
9 people.
opposition, basically Mink and Rahul. The Ferraris, basically, they are our biggest opposition this whole season. And yeah, so I wanted to put some pressure on them to show what time I could do. However, I would still take this lap quite, the hot lap, quite slowly, as you will see. Moving on to the hot lap from this out
How's
lap.
Chorsi? Hit or
Coming
miss?
here.
I guess they never miss, huh?
Okay, I don't know why I was singing that, just came random to my mind again. Coming onto the straight, turning on the DRS, trying to get a good exit so that we can maximize on the entry, and then slightly downshifting up to upshifting up to 8th. However, taking a good exit here on the first
Not gonna bother
corner,
pushing on
coming
this lap
up to
because I
Eau
know, like,
Rouge.
If I set a very fast lap and
Sticking
then
to
I'm
the
not
line,
able to
sticking to the
beat
line here again, and then sticking to the line here again. Trying to basically have to stick to the line as much as possible. Turning on the DRS again, messing up that exit,
any
which I
mid
keep
sector
doing
I'm
because you have
probably
to
quicker
because
than
you want to go as
everybody
wide
else.
as possible. Here, downshifting down to 4th, taking the corner perfectly. Now here you can upshift. I could have gone a bit faster because the softs had the grip, but I didn't. Downshifting here down to 3rd. Perfect line. Maybe could have gotten on the power earlier. I have no idea why I was not confident here at all. Going very slowly through here as well. Basically, I had no confidence in the car because it was basically I last minute tuned it
so
to
risky and I'm
being a
literally
wet
too scared.
setup because it was going to be raining for the last
Car is
the
very
end,
agile.
and I didn't want to risk it with a completely dry setup. So here, as you can see, taking this corner flat out. That curve is very tricky because if you get on it, that's 100% retirement because it just pushes you onto the sand, and the sand flicks you into the wall, and then you're just going to retire. If you follow Indian Racing Community on Instagram, you'd have seen my clip of in a practice session where I did that, which is again not ideal. So finishing our lap here, again trying to maximize the thing. I don't know why I did that. Could have gone faster.
5th for now.
5th for now,
5
and then
kilometers
here
per
we'll be
hour.
going for our
Engine
final hot lap
Basically,
on fresher
easily
soft.
At least
Very little fuel load.
it's come.
This is for the final position basically, so I was hoping I could
You trust
improve
me,
from
boss.
5th,
I don't push on the
but
outlap,
as
it's fine.
but we will see if that works or not. I didn't want to get stuck up behind traffic, but then again that Alfa Romeo came out and I got stuck up behind traffic. I thought I would be the last car out, so I have some clear air. However, that's fine. We come down to the final corner. Downshift is 2nd. Turning on the DRS, trying to get a good exit on the power quite early, which is nice. We start to gain some time. Now we downshift. We brake very late. Downshift to 2nd within proper time, and then upshifting quickly and getting onto the power quickly is what I meant. Coming up to Eau Rouge, sticking to the line as much as possible. No lifts. We're up by 2.5 tenths on the DRS, as you can see, taking perfect line on the exit there, maximizing speed. Coming into this corner, we get fastest first sector. Could be on full pole here. We're literally pushing as hard as we possibly can. And then I had no idea why I did that, because that cost me some bit of time, which is
30
not
seconds left in the
really
session.
needed. And we go off wide here to get some more speed in. As you can see, could have been on the power a little bit earlier, but that's fine. But we lost a bit of time there, which again isn't ideal. And this corner, not downshifting, just lifting off and then straight back onto the power for the exit to get as much speed as possible. Here downshifting again down to 4th, sticking to the line as much as possible, trying to get on the power as early as we can, because we don't want to lose any more speed. We're still staying around that 3 to 4 tenth, 3.5 to 4 tenth gain. We get that personal best second sector, sticking to the right here as much as possible. Coming to this double left-hander, sticking to the left, opening off to the right, and then again sticking to the left. Try not to go onto the curb, that will make you spin. Up by nearly 4.5 tenths. Coming into the last corner, can we improve? Up by 5 tenths. Try to maximize. You can see time is still gaining. We get a very, very good exit. Can we get pole position here? No, we don't. We miss it out by 4.2 tenths. We are third. And as you can see, pay attention to this, because it says right there that it'll start raining at about
it says here, over here.
lap around 12, 13 or so. So I was thinking
Should I fuel my
mediums
car more?
would have been
Because it will take a lot more fuel.
absolutely perfect for what I'm about to do here. Increasing the wings for mediums to compensate
See,
for
if you're
one
on soft,
mediums.
you'll be screwed, because by I'm guessing about lap 14, lap 13.
As you can
start
hear me
raining.
say, I was thinking the soft
So you'll be
runners would be screwed.
If you're on softs.
However, you will see what happens as the race goes on, and as you can probably guess from the title what happens here.
Everything looks good on the power unit.
This is the
cycle,
formation
so
lap.
let's
Let's
concentrate
skip
on
past the
bringing time
formation
and
lap
brakes up
onto
to
the
10
race
seconds.
now.
Yet to come.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. We get a pretty bad start, but it's good enough to defend our position. We get a slight touch there, and going through the first corner, no problems. And face fight retest from the session, and literally on the first corner there's a VSC. This VSC stayed out for quite long, as if you've seen other YouTubers, the VSC stays out for unbelievably long. So let's skip past to the VSC ending here. In just about a second. We are quite close to Rahul, as you will see here. VSC ending, we gained some time on him. We are still on positive delta, but I didn't want to risk the delta going negative, and we got to the curve, which is bad, and then those guys ahead catch us sleeping, and now Mink is trying to take the position. Our biggest championship rival is trying to take the position from us, but we're defending quite well. Over here, Rahul, his teammate, defending well from Catty,
What the fuck?
and Mink tries to send one down the inside. And what is going on? Can we get the position for Catty? No, Mink hits our rear, which stops us from getting it, and Rahul gets the fastest lap. Mink is still there. Will we get the position? No, he doesn't. Still fighting for it. Pushes me onto the curb, which is again not quite legal, but I decide to back off here because I don't want to cause any collisions going up Eau Rouge again, as it is very unsafe. Still sticking with Mink, not quite far off, within about half a second. I apologize there. Rahul defending from Catty quite well. Catty falling under pressure from Mink now. Can Mink make the position? No, both of them get a pretty bad exit. We get a good exit here, and we are trying to make a position here on possibly both of them. However, Catty goes off wide, and we get that position. Still trying to stick with Mink, trying to get the position from Mink, because I knew I was faster than him in a few places, and if I could make the advantage there, I could be past him and possibly win. And as Mink goes off wide and then comes back, and we have to lift off. And you can hear me complaining because that was not quite a very legal move, in my opinion. As I said earlier, why the standings aren't there after after they're updated, it's mainly because of this, because I wanted to get this video out on a Sunday, and the standings didn't come out again, as I said, until like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I didn't want to extend it until then. However, again, as I said, I will put the standings at the end of it. And over here you can see Aegis Sam, the McLaren behind us, quite up and close to us, as the setup is again not ideal for dry. Well, if it was a dry race throughout, then we definitely wouldn't have changed anything on the setup, as it was basically perfect for me, and I was pretty fast on that. I think about third fastest or second fastest, basically faster than Mink. But then again, Mink is on soft, and I have quite a lot of downforce because it is a dry setup changed into a wet setup, which is not ideal.
Not within 1 second, I didn't get DRS.
However, HSM is still there, creeping up behind us, so if we make any mistake or Mink makes any mistake, he'll also be the one capitalizing on it and not, you know, he's basically pressuring me. He's trying to stick as close to me as possible, but it's working for him in some corners, for some corners it isn't, but he's still within that 1 second gap, which is, I think, pretty ideal for him, because if I were to get a 3 second time penalty or he were to get a 3 second time penalty, which is Ming, Aegisam would have gained 2 positions like that, basically.
Not bad.
Capitalizing on the both of us making a mistake, just sticking there silently, pressuring me just a little bit to push, but then again, as you can see, I'm pushing as much as I can, and it's really not working out because Mink is just on softs, and
Like
I was
even
just
Rahul
hoping that the rain would basically sort him out,
just
because
much faster than me. They're 100% running the
Uh,
dry setup without modifications.
I really wanted to basically get those positions
Okay, a lot
in
of retiring.
in the wet, perhaps maybe if not in the dry, because I knew it won't be good on the dry. I wanted to get the set, I wanted to get the positions in the wet because I knew these would be prone to spinning or something here, because they aren't really good in the wet, but they're decent enough. We'll skip on a few laps here in a second because nothing really happens. Basically, there'll be a lot of
4
those,
seconds away from
mainly because nothing really happened, and I don't want to bore you guys
Soft guys
by
are
extending the
pulling
time
away
for
quite
absolutely
nicely.
no reason. So
Medium
as
was struggling, but
clearly
then
you guys
I
like
fully
shorter
am of
videos.
the belief that the
Um,
soft guys, Mink and Rahul, they're running
so
a dry setup.
we'll go on to the next lap in a couple
Gap to
seconds
car in
here,
front is
and I want you to pay
0.1
attention
seconds.
to the weather. As you can see, it's getting cloudy, as well as the delta, which will be quite crucial. We go to the end of lap 4 now, lap 5 now actually. As you can see,
Oh,
it
it's
starts
drizzling.
raining, it's drizzling, but
Water,
it isn't
water.
very heavy
Water,
for
water,
us, for it to force us to go on to enter. So being on the dries is fine for now, and Catty gets the fastest lap,
Water in first,
which we
water
probably
first.
won't be able to beat,
Small.
because it's going to start raining unless some miracle happens and it becomes dry.
Okay,
Then we
try to
could
get
possibly
to
not try. And basically, I didn't expect the rain to come
Yeah,
this early, because it said around lap
But
14 near
good
our
medium.
pit window, around lap 14 it would come, but I didn't expect it lap 5, which is basically screwed up with my mind, and now is where all the bad things will going to start happening slowly. It's coming to the end of lap 5 here, and as I was saying, this is where the bad things would start happening. And it's been my luck always in Spa, no matter what league, what day, what I do, whatever, what my strategy is, it's been the same.
Easy to
So we'll come to the end of lap 6 here, basically, to not waste any time. It's getting heavier. It's not as heavy to switch on to inters or wet still, but it's still quite a tricky situation. We'll go on to the end of lap 6 now. Pay attention to what happens here, as this was a slight glimmer of hope, as you would see in a second. Coming to the end of lap 7, it is definitely time for inters, and as we are entering the pits here, there's a safety car, which is basically what happened to Hamilton last year. Basically, as soon as he entered the pits, the safety car came out, and both the Ferraris are double stacking, which means we could definitely get away, and we get a good stop trying to get away, but then as you can see, Mink there, AJ there, my bad, holds us up. That's because there's an esports mode that they've added, which ghosts the cars on the pit, so that the car who's who's ready to leave the pits does not get held up. However, I think they forgot to turn it on, which made me lose a bit of time, but then again, it was a safety car, so it didn't really matter much to me. As I was ahead of Mink now, and I was well within 3 seconds of Rahul,
the car who's coming behind
under the safety car, and possibly even after the safety car. So maybe I could get the win here, which would be quite crucial for me.
You all the
which
cars go, so basically you can go whenever.
it would
I
help
think
me
because of the
extend.
code to enable
It would help me to retake the championship lead, and we're at the end of the safety car here now, and you will see what happens, which was not ideal at all. I'm weaving all over the place, trying to get temperature into my tires. I'm losing more temperature than I'm gaining, which is not ideal. Rahul is starting to pull away a bit. He's trying to get on that throttle. He's trying to trick me, which you will see why. The video's
What
title
is
is
it doing?
this. You will see why in the
What is it
second
doing?
here.
Did you see
And
that?
Rahul just catches me napping, and I'm still trying to put temperature into my tires. And as you can see over here, I get a 5-second time penalty for severe
Okay,
collision with
what?
contented Mink. Basically, what happened
5
was
seconds,
Rahul
severe
caught me
collision.
napping as I was trying to warm up my tires, as my rears were quite cold. And Ming got damaged because of it, and I got 5 seconds.
going to report me
And
then.
until unless there was some sort of drastic weather change, I wouldn't be pitting, and that meant I have to take 5 seconds with me. And I was just hoping that Rahul would get another penalty, perhaps another time penalty for track extensions. As you can see, me going off wide here, lost a bit of time because of that. Not ideal. And basically, as I pointed out, this is where the turnover starts, and this is where things are going to start getting quite unlucky for me. Just pay attention to the delta now between me and Rahul. We're going to be skipping over a couple of laps here again. Coming to the end of lap 11, you can see Rahul's pulled away a whole second on us, which is not ideal for us at all. Finishing the lap here, going on to lap 12. Let's see. Gap stays about the same between me and Rahul. He's still not gotten another penalty, and we sort of lose the car there, which is again not helping us at all in this situation. And here gap stays about the same at the end of lap 13. I think we're going to go on to lap 15 now, if I'm not wrong. I'm skipping over these laps because it's quite boring, because nothing really happens. Yeah, end of lap this, and now you will see something that made things even worse on the exit here. I tried to get on the power early and nearly losing the car. That's a half spin right there, which again is not ideal, because now as you can see on the delta, Rahul just pulls away for another second at the end of lap 16 now. Gap stays about the same, and this is me still hoping that something happens to Rahul, like another penalty, a spin perhaps, and things are just starting to fall for me and my teammate. You will see why as things go on. We're on the same, about the same gap, the deltas being around the same, but now pay attention to what is going to happen now, because this really caught me and my teammate off guard here. Going up Oruj, taking Oruj quite perfectly, messed up with the gears, which made me lose some time. But here, as you can see, in about a second, Catty retires from the session, which pulls out a late safety car, which was not expected. And you will see in about a second here why it was bad, because I was asking my teammate if I should pit now for fresh, and he was like, it's really not worth it. So I decided to stay out, and as you can see, my teammate gets a drive-through penalty because of a game glitch, which was showing him that he was positive on his delta, but he was actually negative, and he basically got a time penalty for it, and basically we can't do anything at this point. So
You can only serve.
let's go here.
I was mid weaving, right? So
This is me explaining to my teammate what happened, and
because
going
of
on
my
to the
car
next lap. This is quite embarrassing, because I tried to get on the power and I half spin. Going on to the cross, can I get any positions? No, I'm trying to see if I can get the position back on Bobby, but the game decides it is not going to allow it, and now we'll be staying on board from the safety car restart till the very end. And as you can see, Bobby right here has no penalties. My teammate has a drive-through.
This one are you going for?
Not ideal at all, and I have 5 seconds myself, which I won't be serving. Again, tires are still quite cold, and over here, as you can see, Rahul brake checks my teammate, which gives him damage, and which I didn't know, which he didn't know as well, because it didn't pop up on for him, and he just went off wide. And I'm trying to overtake Bobby here, but then again it's yellow flags, so I can't overtake. And then my team, as you can see, goes off wide there because of his damage. And told him, well mate, you have damage of some sort. He's like, yeah, I have damage. Well, hold up Bobby so that I can pass him. As you can see, he tries to do that, he's doing that well, but then because of his damage, his brakes late, not ideal, goes off wide. I get his position, but I'm still quite close to Bobby, using my ERS to try and get as close to him as possible. Going up Eau Rouge, we have a bit of a contact, but no damage for me, no puncture for him, none of that. And I'm behind him using ERS, trying to make an overtake, going down the inside, going down the inside, and I try to brake as late as possible, but he brakes even later, which causes him to go offline, and we make the move here. And now I realize that Rahul had 8 seconds, so I was trying to be within the 3-second gap of Rahul, and I'm trying to push here as much as possible, also hoping something happens to Bobby, because it won't be nice if he gets ahead of me, because I would much rather prefer to win than anything else. And as you can see on the map on the bottom left, Mink has done quite a good recovery, and he's right on Aegis Sam, who's right on Red Skull. And basically, yeah, those two are pressuring Red Skull to give the position, while I'm here trying to stay within 3 seconds. It's sort of working. As you can see, Aegis Sam and Mink going off at it. Mink trying to get that position as desperately as possible. As you can see, my tire wear, it isn't ideal for me, because these inters are not feeling good. As you can see, a bit of a slide there, and
lot of damage from that. Not a lot of damage, but
this is me just hoping some miracle could happen. Rahul could possibly spin, Bobby could possibly spin, and for me not to spin, because if I spun it won't be nice. And we are on to the final lap here, and
11.5 seconds.
as you can see, Mink makes the move on Aegis Sam, and he's basically pressuring Red Skull. And well guys, this race wasn't ideal. Basically, things went from good to bad to worse, and this has been always the case for me at Spa, for me and my teammate, where things have gone from good to bad to worse, and it really hasn't been ideal for us, because, well, the bad luck just keeps coming in. As you can see from the title, this track has always been unlucky for me, and yeah, the race basically got ruined from the point I told you earlier, and yeah, it never got any better other than the small safety car that happened. But yeah, I got a 5-second time penalty out of it, so that wasn't quite ideal as well. This is
I'll take the clip as soon as this is
bad
over, and I'll send
for
it over
us. And something happens to Red Skull, as you can see, and Mink is past Red Skull. But yeah, well, Bobby was certainly going to win this, because he was still holding out and he didn't get any time penalties, as you can see. And his opportunities for getting a time penalty ran out as well, and he didn't have any warnings. So I would like to thank you guys for watching this video, and if you want to join me on these races live, then the link is in the description for my Twitch. I do these races every Thursday. IRC is on Thursday, and another league, Axel, on Saturday. And if you want any updates about my races, in case a race gets cancelled or delayed or something happens, then the link for my Instagram is also in the description. And as you can see over here, Rahul wins on track. I could not get the win on track, and Bobby ends up winning the race. And I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys.
Okay, Bobby's won.